The number one non-negotiable skill in business, it's not tech, it's not hiring, it's not product development, it is sales. Being able to sell your product or your service is non-negotiable, and it takes your business idea from hobby to commercial company, generating revenue and hopefully profitable in the mix as well. Sales extends beyond the customers and clients that you're able to convert. It extends into fundraising, into talent attraction, into engaging your team. It is absolutely the lifeblood of any business, which is why I'm so excited to introduce our next guest, subject matter expert, Tash Rebuck. Rebuck, I did it. Nailed it. Fantastic. Welcome to Strategy and Tragedy.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, mostly because anyone who's as obsessed with sales as I am is a future friend.
We are going to have a current friend. Don't offend me.
Oh, wow. So the first sales mistake. Don't insult the people you're trying to buy into you.
There we go. Turn these hiccups into learning opportunities. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So, Tash, I'm so excited for this, not only because it's you, but also diving into this important subject matter, because whilst it is so vital, so many of us struggle with it. We're going to have so much fun here today as well. So I want to open with the topic of cold calling, because it's so overlooked. It is so feared by many. Nobody wants to do it. So talk to me first about why cold calling is so effective, some top tips with cold calling, and the best one-line opener. And listeners, you are in for a bloody treat with this one. We're going to put this to the test. I am going to put all of Tash's tips and tricks. I'm going to call some prospects live on the show. It's going to get meta. It's going to get fun and hopefully not too weird. So Tash, over to you.
Amazing. So most of the time when I talk about cold calling, that is the thing that strikes so much fear into everyone's hearts. And it's almost like one of those things. It's, you know what? It's like the Jurassic Park of sales. Everyone's like, no, that's dead. That died a long time ago. We don't need to clone that and bring it back. But like bell-bottom jeans, it has come back into fashion.
I was so close to wearing bell-bottom jeans here as well today.
And that would have really made my day, because then you would have been literally on brand for cold calling. Because it was so big in like the 90s and the early 2000s. And then the reality is everyone started getting annoyed because everyone was cold calling. And so then email outreach became the trend. Email outreach is now starting to see the same decline that cold calling did. So how do we get back in touch with people? Everyone's inbox is absolutely slammed. What does no one do anymore? Call.
Pick up the buzzer.
Pick up the bloody phone.
I'm excited to do it. And just on the note of the email inbox like overload, I saw a really interesting LinkedIn post, which was someone saying that they literally never read their emails, and they've got an AI tool that just summarizes the top ones and just like, this is what you should respond to, this is what you can ignore, top key points from some newsletters you actively read, that's it. So so now with AI, there are people just totally ignoring their inbox.
100%. And that's kind of the issue with any singular sales outreach process. If you've only got one, then there's always a way to be ignored. That's why if someone wants to do email, you've also got to add on LinkedIn, send messages there, send emails, follow up with cold calls, send a text. Like, you have to do it across every single avenue. Otherwise, it's just too easy to be ignored.
So what would you say to potentially kind of a naysayer there with like the bombardment? Like, oh, okay, but like, I don't want to be a pest. Or
cold calling is almost the answer to being a pest, because instead of sending 5-6 emails in a row, you call once and you get your answer. That's the whole thing. Sales is just about getting a yes or no. I just don't really believe in being ghosted. I believe in giving up before you get the answer. And it's fair enough. Look, not all of us like being told to bugger off. Doesn't bother me. I've got very thick skin. I'm a failed stand-up comedian. I'm very used to rejection. But if you call someone and they say to you, look, thank you for getting in touch, and they do say thank you, but this isn't of interest to me anymore, that's it. They're off your list. They won't be bothered again.
Move on.
But if they're ignoring your emails, you're going to keep going and keep going if you are a good salesperson.
That makes a ton of sense. And do you know what's occurred to me listening to you there is actually the tip for even handling sales and like being on the other side of it. And I don't know if it's like a British thing as well, but it's like we don't know how It's like the cowardly thing is to just ghost because we don't know how to decline. So we're like, oh no, I'll just ignore it until it vanishes and goes away. But actually, what you've also given there is a really practical tool for someone who might, because we'll get sold to as well. Like whether or not we're selling, you're giving someone a real kind of toolkit there of how to decline those unwanted calls.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think that, look, we're all inundated with outreach all the time. I mean, any given day, if you open your LinkedIn, you're going to have like 10, 20 messages from people. And even as a salesperson who tries to give everyone a good chance, there are people that I just ignore. If it's lazy, if it's automated, if it's not personalized, I'm not going to bother responding to you unless you're persistent. And then I will tell you to leave me alone, but in a really nice way.
Nice.
But if I see that someone has taken the time to personalize their outreach to me, I will give them the time of day. I will respond to them straight away. Even if I'm not interested, it's just a look, thank you so much for taking the time, not for me.
Yeah.
And
But they put in the effort, and there's that cognitive bias when someone's put in the effort.
And there's nothing more personal than a cold call because you can't do, well, I mean, you can do it with AI, but it's
Not
always
advised.
better done by a human. We're not quite there yet
Yeah.
with the AI sales agent just yet.
All right. Well, with that in mind, shall we crack on with this little live experiment?
I think we absolutely should.
Gang, whether or not you like it, if you're in business, you're in sales, full stop. And in today's day and age, there is no excuse not to leverage the best tech to make you smash your sales and commercial strategy. Because here's the thing, I bet whichever CRM you're using is simply telling you what happened after the matter, but gives little to no insight on why deals are stalling or closing. That's why I am genuinely so happy to tell you about Gong, the revenue AI platform that turns every customer interaction into actionable intelligence. Whether you're trying to improve prospecting, sales productivity, customer expansion, or revenue predictability, Gong offers a single AI platform purpose-built for revenue teams. Identify what separates your top performers from the rest, surface the objections that kill deals, reveal the patterns behind your wins and losses, and know exactly which messaging resonates with prospects. With powerful tools to understand every customer interaction, you can finally put an end to the guesswork and start scaling what actually works. Honestly, gang, this is such a cool tool for building sales machines. This isn't just about better data, it's about predictable revenue growth. Now, while your customers rely on gut feelings and outdated playbooks, you'll have an AI-powered insights driving every strategic decision. If you're ready to turn your sales conversations into competitive advantage, then head straight to the show notes for your unique Gong link and see why thousands of revenue teams trust their growth to revenue AI. Because in sales, strategy beats tragedy every time. All right, gang, let's get back to the episode. All right, so share your top tips for cold calling and your best one-line opener, and I'm going to put it to the test here live.
Excellent. So my first top tip will be tricky for you today, which is it's a numbers game. Most people are terrified of sales and doing any kind of outreach because they think they're going to get rejected. The reality is, what are we going to call 3-4 people?
Yeah.
You will probably not get anyone picking up. That's the reality of cold.
We've also got 4 p.m. on a Friday, so listeners, bear with us. We've
Yeah,
got that challenge
exactly.
to work against.
And if it doesn't go well, we'll think of something else funny. Don't worry. If that's the reality of it. So it's all about numbers game, making sure you've got people's information, make sure the data is good, all of that. But the big thing is the opener. The way that you start your cold call is so important, and it's just about being honest. So for me, I'll always go, hi, so-and-so, this is Tash. Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. This is a cold call, but I promise you I've got such a good reason why I've reached out. Can I steal 5 seconds of your time?
All right.
So go
See if
for
I remember that.
And also think of a really good open question. So when they do say, yeah, I'll give you a second, you explain it, try and think of a really good open
Okay, I've got something in mind.
Okay,
All right,
good.
this is so exciting. Me too. I hope our listeners can feel the palpitations, the excitement here. The other thing that I want to share with our listeners is this is very meta. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call up some totally cold prospects so you know fully what is what here. Cold prospects, they've never heard of me. I've never reached out to them whatsoever. This is as cold as ice. And they are sales tools because in a very meta way, what I have actually uncovered through different experiments is pitching particular episodes for podcast sponsorships is a really good hook. So I'm using this interview on sales to pitch to sales tools to see if they want to sponsor this episode. If they do, they can do an elevator pitch right here, right now, live on the air.
Amazing. I just think that's such a good idea. I also just think it's very important that the audience recognizes that, like, you have to be so fucking brave to do this. You are right now my absolute hero, because even I wouldn't want a cold call cold on stage.
By the way, listeners, we've also got an incredible live audience member here with us as well. So I've got Tash, I've got Things to Remember, I've got live audience, I've got you guys as well. So this is all happening. Okay. All right. The first one I'm calling is, but we don't know if they're going to answer. All right. This is so funny. The first one I'm going to answer. Sorry, call. Okay. I'm going to try B2B sales AI intelligence tool called. Do you know them? I was going to actually ask what you use, because that would be good to pitch tools that you actually recommend.
Oh, yeah, that is a good point. So I love I think it's fantastic.
Okay.
But I often try and work with tools that are a little bit more sort of like on the lower cost end, because a lot of the people I work with are early stage founders.
Look, stop talking, because they might sponsor this.
I know. I'm saying is the dream.
If you can afford it.
I know. Well, you shouldn't have asked then, should you?
Well, if
Very
they do,
honest.
then they do a promo code to bring the price down.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's see if you can hear this. Yeah, I want to call. Okay.
Can't take your call.
Leave a voice.
Oh, yeah.
Should I? Absolutely.
When you're done, press hash or just hang up.
Hey, my name is Stephanie Melodia. I'm the host of the UK's Top 20 Business Show, and I wanted to reach out to ask how you're getting on with your marketing, because I'm not sure if you're really aware of this, but podcasting is one of the most effective ways to cut through and reach a very relevant, hyper niche targeted audience. We have a full media kit with all the stats, case studies, amazing information I can send across to you. We'd love to follow up on email if you'd like to see more. In the meantime, I look forward to connecting with you another time. Thanks a lot. Take care. Okay, we'll review the voicemail, because
Yeah, of course. I used to always review voicemails. How did you feel it went first?
I wasn't comfortable leaving the voicemail, not because of me doing it, but because now they know it's a sales call. And now if they see me call again, they're going to screen my number.
Unfortunately, you fell into a classic trap.
Okay.
You pitch slapped.
Ah, bastard.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
no.
Excuse me. You pitch slapped.
Yeah.
You gave them the full pitch. I would have
Pressure
gone in
video.
for something to tease them. So a little bit of like, hi, this is going to seem really weird. I'm actually calling you live from a podcast, which I think would be the dream sponsor for. Look, it's a bit out there. I'm going to send you a text, or I'll call you tomorrow. And that's the big thing, saying, I'm going to call you tomorrow. It's the threat. You'll be in touch again. So if they don't want to speak, they can let you know straight away. But if they're interested, they'll call you back.
This same the threat, I like that. The threat, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
This same person has another number. If we try this one, should I go at it again? I was going to get you to do it because you're so good at it, but I know yours is coming afterwards.
So
Shall I leave it?
I would leave it, because that was definitely her phone. Because it's her voice, I assume.
Yeah.
Her name.
Yeah.
And so that's when you can sometimes become too much.
Okay.
And there's a fine line.
Don't wanna be
it tells,
desperate.
And we've got other
Good.
people.
We
And you're
have-
going to call her back tomorrow.
I mean, tomorrow is Saturday.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'd call her on Monday.
So the pitch slapping, I'm going to pitch slap you. Should I do on the first call, right? Like if they do answer, I'm here to be honest about what I want.
So what you want to do is you want to give almost like a really short segment, and then you ask that big question, that big open question. So you want to go, look, be totally honest. I'm calling actually live on a podcast right now. I would love to steal 5 minutes of your time, if that's okay. And then they say, yeah. And then you go, look, the reason I'm calling is I'm currently recording a sales podcast. We're looking for sponsors. Obviously, you fit the bill. Our founders are looking for solutions like yours. But look, I'm on camera right now. I'd love to know, is it too crazy to try and put something in the diary for next week?
Okay. Let's see how much of that I
Light touch.
remember.
Yeah, that was a
I'm
lot.
definitely
That was
not
a
gonna
lot
get that
all
word
in
for
one
word.
go.
Let's go again.
Yeah, is that as in like actually fantastic? Yeah, that's the tool I use. I love yeah, my favorite.
This is already kind of an ad for all these tools that we're trying to pitch for to sponsor.
Well, no, tell you what, we're gonna bleep them out like swear words unless they sponsor.
Yes. Love it, love it, love it. So this is an American number. So we've got timing on our side because it should be about midday, maybe for these guys. I've already forgotten half of what you said, so I'm just gonna give it my best go here, okay?
All we want is a pickup.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Ah, bastard.
The person you're trying to
Okay,
reach
hang
is
up.
not available.
We're gonna send a text message.
Okay.
Easy to respond to.
Let's do it now in case we get a response.
Oh yeah,
Still,
absolutely.
like, hey Tim.
Yeah. Was just calling you live from. I genuinely think that's so interesting. Was just calling you live from a podcast.
Yeah.
Specifically for founders looking to grow.
Yes.
And as a founder that loves a I'd love to chat about sponsorship.
Hang on, you're talking too fast. I've just put hey. I love it. Hey, just try calling you live from the from my podcast studio, specifically for entrepreneurs looking for tools
to help grow their business.
Looking for tools like Apollo.
Yeah.
Bleep. Hey Tim, just try calling you live on the air from my podcast studios, from my podcast specifically for entrepreneurs looking for tools like Apollo.
Would love to chat about potential sponsorship opportunities.
Oh, so we're being clear about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're not going to waste these people's time.
Okay. Ship opportunities. I'll try you again next week.
Yeah. Oh, no. Ask. Say, would it be crazy to have a chat next week? Would it be impossible to have a chat next week?
Or can I schedule a...
Yeah. Would it be impossible? Is there no way that if you pose it as an impossibility,
so funny.
it's really hard to say no to it. It's a small psychological trick.
I love it. Yeah, right. Yeah, I love that. Would it be impossible to find a time next week?
Yeah, to talk about sponsorship
Find
opportunities.
a time next week. Okay. Hey, just try calling you live on the air from my podcast, specifically for entrepreneurs looking for tools like would love to chat about podcast sponsorship opportunities. Would it be impossible to find a time next week? Is that okay? All right, listeners, we're hitting send. So if we get a response, that was also me calling from my UK to an American number. This is my dedication. So they've got an iMessage, which I know is a bigger thing in the US.
But that's excellent. That means it's gone through. You'll see if he reads it.
I love how this is two birds with one stone, how I'm doing my sales whilst hosting.
But this is what working with me is like, not to do a sales pitch, but I can't help myself. This is what working with me like. You just do it,
The show don't tell. How much less interesting would this be if we were just talking people doing it for real life?
Exactly.
Okay, I've got 2 more calls to make. Should we keep going? Are you with us? I'm having fun with this.
Let's do it. I'm loving this.
Fantastic.
I want to pick up.
All right, so I've got another UK number here. Should I tell you who it is if you want to give me some pointers? So it is kind of like it is a sales tool. It's more like data intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's actually, this was being a bit sneaky as well. It's actually an account executive who reached out to me this week and his number's in the signature. So I was like, oh, returning your email. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Because this would be so with every cold call, you're always thinking, what do I want to get out of this? It's same with any approach with anyone, right? Now, for this person, it wouldn't necessarily be that they'd be the right decision maker. So what you want is not a meeting with them. You want an introduction to the right person.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Love this. All right. Let's call.
And if they're a good salesperson, they should pick up the phone.
Even if it's 24 minutes past 4 on a Friday. It failed. Oh, because I've lost signal? Spanner in the works. Tech letting us down.
And this is why cold calling really isn't that scary.
Yeah, I've got signal again. Exactly. You get yourself all pumped up,
Yeah,
and then they don't even bloody answer. All right.
exactly.
Oh, I've lost signal. What's going on? That failed as well.
It might be that he's on another call.
Someone else that I've got is apparently. Oh, I've just had a message from Vodafone. I've now spent over £1 on calls to international numbers, so that was my commitment. I've spent a quid on
Okay, but think about what's your average.
my ROI.
Yeah, no, what's your average contract value for sponsorship?
That was
If
worth
you
a pound.
get that, it's a fantastic ROI.
Gang, I'm hoping that for entertainment value, that was worth a pound. So
Someone sponsor, please.
if you had fun doing that, all right, I'm not gonna call again. I'm gonna call this other one.
Right.
This is unfortunately this isn't their direct number, so this speaks. Yeah. Each one of these, all these different.
Honestly, it's like
scenarios.
you planned this really, really
Of
well.
course you didn't. I love how it's all falling into place.
Just
but-
admit that.
This but this does also speak to the quality of the data in the first place, which you touched on, the lead sourcing, the lead generation before we even kind of pluck up the courage to actually speak to them. So there's that as well. So this number, so it is a generic office number, not someone's individual number. I don't know the name of the person. I can find that out though pretty quickly. Would it be better to get their name?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, all right. Chat to the listeners while I get their name.
Oh my God. Okay, actually, this is a great opportunity to talk about lead generation because one of the things that I find most frustrating and I think is like disappointing for a lot of business owners is that they'll spend a huge amount of money on lead generation.
Yeah.
So if you look in your spam at any given time, there's going to be people being like, oh, someone paid me £40,000 to get this list of global marketing directors. I'll sell it to you for £5,000. They've used one of these tools that we've just talked about for a low monthly cost and they've generated this list. Please don't do that. Please don't spend lots of money on lead generation. Find a good tool that can do it for you or use Google. Google is free and there are so many ways that you can build lists without paying for it. And there you go.
Fantastic.
That
Great
is
tip.
my advice.
Thank you. Love that. And that gave me time to find the name of the right contacts here. So calling up and asking for the specific individual.
Yes.
Okay. And then if I get through to them,
Use your first name calling their first name.
The destination mailbox is full.
wow, it's no one
Genuinely,
to
genuine.
answer.
I know it seems really frustrating, but I actually think that this is such a good lesson in why
Perseverance.
sales is about perseverance and number games.
Mm.
You know, you sit here and the first thing I say is, gosh, this is so scary, like so nerve-wracking to do a cold
Build
call in
yourself up
front of
to it.
people.
Mm.
And then actually you don't get through to anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
If we were sat here for the full hour and you called around 20 people,
Mm-hmm.
you would probably actually speak to one person.
Mm.
And that one person, I reckon you'd be able to get a meeting with, potentially. But that's why you spend an entire day to make 2 or 3 meetings.
Yeah. Okay. That
That's
puts
the
it back into
reality.
perspective, doesn't it? All right.
But at the same time, one day to get 2 or 3 meetings for any business, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Just goes to show what you need to put in, right? I'm going to try again. And I am also going to, this is going to be music to your ears, Tash. Another idea that's just come to me. I'm going to follow up with somebody that I called earlier this week. And they were like, yeah, cool, send over the media kit. And I haven't heard back since.
Okay, fantastic.
So we're doing,
10 out of 10 choice, yeah.
let me do them first to give this other guy enough time if he was on another call.
Yeah.
So this other guy I called was
Out of curiosity, if you get this contract, do I get 10% commission?
10%. Jesus, come on. We need to talk about negotiation afterwards as well. Did I even save his number?
Oh, well, you're about to have your first telling off by a sales coach.
Okay. Let me find this guy's number. I know his name was. Oh God.
Is that a CRM on a spreadsheet I'm spying?
Is that making your skin crawl?
Just really, CRMs are really useful.
But this is just so straightforward.
I know.
What's
I
the
understand
problem?
that.
Oh, here we go. I found him. Okay. What's wrong with the spreadsheet while I get the number?
Oh, it's just that with a CRM, it's just so much easier to manage and you get the reporting, which is really amazing. But I'm a big data nerd. So when I join startups, I always get all into the roots of the CRM to build all their reporting.
What CRM do you use?
So I will I switch around a little bit. I like to shop around. I really like, and not many people use it, is Biggin.
Okay.
I quite like it.
Okay.
But I am considering moving over to.
Okay, so they were one of the targets that I was also going to call as well. So
I do like, and they've just introduced their email sequencing, and it is quite good.
Okay, maybe let's try and call them afterwards.
This is not meant to be an advert for these companies.
Exactly.
Not yet.
Oh, put it on speaker. Because if this goes through, it also shows that was on another call.
Person's phone is currently unavailable. Please try later.
Do you know what? We're getting closer and closer to 5 p.m. on a Friday, so this is not working well.
Unfortunately not.
Let's try Tom again. Oh, here we go. And then let's move on because I could keep going, but for the sake of our listeners, here we go. I don't have the name. Okay. That failed. Okay. All right. Listeners, we're done. We hope you enjoyed that. We hope you learned lots along the way. All right. Your review. What's your score? It's grade me. Could you tell I was a teacher's pet at school?
Oh no!
Do I get a gold star?
I could. You know what? You get gold star
For
for
trying.
effort.
For the bravery.
For the bravery, that's a 10 out of 10 in my books. I cannot grade you on cold calling because you did not do a cold call.
Someone's calling me back.
No.
Who's calling me back?
Gotta be.
Hi, Stephanie speaking.
Hi, Stephanie, it's Jordan here from a PR agency. I just missed a call from this.
Hey, Jordan, I called you briefly earlier this week about the podcast advertising. Did you get a chance to check the media kit I emailed over?
I did receive it. Let me respond to you. I will respond to you in the next hour or so, Stephanie. Apologies for the delay.
No worries at all. I look forward to hearing back from you.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thanks a
Cheers.
lot. Take care. Bye. The excitement of getting a call back. How was that? I'm sure you've got notes.
I do. I'm so sorry.
God, don't be sorry.
I would have asked him what he's going to email you saying. He knows he's going to have it in an hour. I'd be like, go on. I can't wait.
You're so good.
Tell me now. Because if he's going to say no, then you can ask why and get the objection.
Tash, you're so good.
Otherwise, you're always in a back and forth chasing with these people.
Do you know what? There's such I don't want to make this like a gendered thing, but there's such a good girl, in air quotes, problem here. And it goes back to like, don't want to be a pest. I don't want to bother you.
Yeah.
I'm almost like, I don't even know what I'm afraid of, but it's like, because it's not even rude, but it still feels very brave. It still feels like that didn't even cross my mind to even ask him.
It's really difficult. So I work with a lot of female founders because a lot of what I do isn't just about like strategy and training. It's the coaching side of like the emotional blockers that you get with sales.
Yeah.
And as women, we are often brought up to be told we're not allowed to take up space.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to be annoying, and we're not allowed to ask for what we want.
Yeah.
There is nothing more sales than those three things.
Yeah.
And so it's overcoming that. And it isn't exclusive to women, but it definitely
sure.
is something that I think that we struggle with more.
Yeah.
So sometimes I ask myself, I ask, would a straight man be afraid of this? And if the answer is no, then I bloody well go ahead and do it. But also, it's one of those things that I'm just like, I think it's about your mindset.
Yeah.
And it's about always looking for an opportunity, and it takes practice. But once you get into it, you start to pick them up like little bits of gold dust. He says he has an answer. For me, I'm like, oh, what's your answer? I want to know.
I want to know why that thought didn't even cross my mind. And I want to know how you know about that.
That's a good question.
2 in 1.
Yeah, that is a good question. So I think that for me, so like I said, it's all about practice. So one thing that I do a lot is try and help people learn about their prospect better. So sales used to always be about interrogating questions.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, for pitch slapping, just giving all your information. But that's not how we want to be sold to anymore. That's not
Course.
how we enjoy being sold to.
Yeah.
And so it's about getting to know people and sort of picking up what they put down. So learning, asking the right questions. And the more you do that, the more you start to hear what actually matters. So
Mhm.
if you have happy ears, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm getting an answer. Great.
Yeah.
But if you dig underneath it, if you sort of go to that second layer
Mm.
and you question the answer, that's what I always recommend. You get an answer, question it. And if you just start doing that instinctively,
Yeah.
there'll always be that next
For
question
sure.
to ask.
Did you ever, I presume you struggled with this to begin with, like practice makes perfect. So in those earlier days for you, what helped you overcome like those emotional mental blockers?
So when I started out, I was off the back of being an actor. And I always said, I've got no shame. I left the dignity at the door when I did a Sims 4 advert, and I'm born for sales. It really works for me. And so I don't think that I personally had those blockers, but I've always tried to be a really empathetic person.
Mm.
And for me, realizing that, look, there's always going to be sales things that you don't do well. I was awful at listening. I used to always be waiting to say the thing, oh, you've got
Yeah.
this problem. I can solve it this way.
Yeah.
And so that was my really big issue.
Mm.
But I was never afraid of getting in front of people and asking the stupid questions.
Yeah. And it really does. It thickens up your skin the more times that you do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm excited to hopefully get a response from one of these guys while we're still on the air. But let's continue with your story, Tash. So talk us through like your experience. Obviously, you mentioned that like you come from the world of acting, failed stand-up comedian. You were on this incredible rocket ship growth journey with a unicorn. So I'm sure that taught you so much. What in particular around like buyer psychology can you share with our listeners as well?
So, what was really interesting in my journey is that I started out very traditionally working for Monopoly, making board games. And then I moved into the really exciting startup world. And it was a completely different environment. But the buyers still had the same problems. They still had very long processes. They still had to tick every single box. It is the same problem, the same process, but just talking about different things. And with every single one of them, and I sound like a broken record here, but they just want to be heard. Everyone has different issues that they're facing or challenges, and it's just about taking the time to understand them so that you could then offer the right kind of solution to them. And what I found when I was working at the startup, one of the biggest things is day by day, the people you're pitching to, they're going to change. One day I was pitching to, because it was a logistics company, like on-demand delivery. One day I was, pitching to the corner shop, fish and chip shop, and the next day we were pitching to Superdrug. So it was a real change, and it was just, you've got to adapt. You've got to understand they have different pain points, but you've got to respect them and treat them the same because ultimately they're your buyer. So be respectful and you'll get amazing results.
This is where your acting career comes in very handy, right? Being able to kind of shape shift from that. But I mean, so many like huge benefits you can bring to the table here. Same as me, nothing we've got in common, right? But being able to like shape shift and almost play a character. On that note, actually, what are your views on kind of like channeling almost like an alter ego to be a successful salesperson?
I think that it's almost impossible to be the perfect salesperson without bringing a little bit extra to your personality. And I don't mean that you need to be extroverted or loud. I think that there is some very quiet, soft-spoken people that are unbelievable salespeople. For me, the difference you need to make is you need to be more positive. Any single person who sells is talking about their business, is talking about anything that is sort of trying to encourage growth, you've got to bring a really positive energy. And that can be hard for people to do, especially if you've had a tough day, something's going on in your personal life. But from the very first job I had, it was very much instilled, bring the right energy every single day, be positive, be the kind of person people want to work with. And you know what? In a way, that is putting on a bit of a character, because am I that person every day? Absolutely not. Sometimes I'll have 10 calls and I just shut down my laptop and I also power down like a robot. And that's absolutely fine as long as I just bring
Bring
the
the
best of
energy
myself.
when you need to, on the call, on the pitch. Easier said than done, especially if you have had rejection after rejection. And honestly, I don't know about you and listeners, if anyone else has picked up on this, but I've picked up on how much my energy's dipped since the start of this, when I was so pumped and so excited. And I haven't even had anyone answer me. And you giving me fantastic constructive criticism. And I'm feeling a bit glum already. I'm like, bugger. So that times 100 over and over and over. Any practical tips to help exercise that resilience muscle, to bring that positivity back again?
Absolutely. So the first is fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like, at any given point, it's a Friday. It's very warm in here. I'm tired, but I know that if I can bring my energy right now, I can just completely shut down on the train home.
Yeah.
And I will, because I'm going on the Bakerloo line and that is a sauna. And it's
Yeah.
just like, you know what, I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's often, I think that's how you overcome the difficult tasks when it comes to sales. A client will say to me, oh, I really don't want to call this person. I really don't want to send an extra message. And I go, can I ask, what's your average contract value? What have you quoted that person? Can you get over that discomfort? Can you lift yourself for that value of money?
Yeah.
The answer is almost always yes. And if the answer is no, then that's not the right activity for you to be doing at that moment.
Yeah, it helps put things back into perspective, doesn't it?
Exactly.
The other thing on the fake it till you make it is the science, the weird sort of like brain hacking with like, even if you just like smile, like I'm very smiley, and you laugh, and how that kind of tricks the brain as well, right? So getting into it. All right. Any other like key lessons from this crazy unicorn journey? Getting back to that. So you talked about adapting. You had different clients, from Superdrug to fish and chip shop on the corner. What else, specifically like growth? Because I'm also bearing in mind, if we've got like tech entrepreneurs listening, they want to scale up their startups. What were the growth levers that worked for you?
So the first thing that was really important was diversification.
Yeah.
Because if you're a business where 95% of your revenue comes from one client, you're in a huge amount of trouble. And so making sure that you're putting focus on both the big clients and the small, and of course the medium, just to make sure if you lose any of them, you've always got a safety net. That's the most important thing when it comes to growth for a startup in sales. And so don't get distracted and lost on the big boys and ignore your little friends, because they will be your absolute lifesavers one day.
Yeah, amazing.
And the other thing is diversify how you're reaching out to people. When it was, when we were at Stewart, we did everything. We did cold calling, we did field sales, we did email outreach, we did networking, trade shows,
Wow.
LinkedIn, everything.
Yeah.
We did direct mail. One day we sent about 300 mini donuts out to prospective buyers through our couriers. It was a hell day. Anyone trying to order food in East London that day? No chance. It was just donuts.
What comes to mind for me is, I'm aware from more of a marketing background around like the multiplier effect and being in, a few places at once. What does cross my mind is cash strap startups. So those who can't afford to do like the trade show, to be visible, to have a team of people cold calling, like all of these things all at once. How would you approach like prioritizing when you've got limited budgets?
So cold calling, free. Field sales, free. Emails, free. LinkedIn, free, as long as you don't get Sales Navigator, bit pricey. Cost of living crisis, saw that go up, didn't it? Anyway,
Do you use that?
yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for my LinkedIn outreach.
Do you actually rate it?
I only use LinkedIn Sales Navigator because I connect with so many people every single week. Because again, sales is a numbers game. So that's pretty much what I use it for. I don't use in-mails. If there's any advice anyone takes from me, don't send in-mails.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're so annoying. And you can just ignore them. You just decline without a message. Excuse me, decline me with a message, please. Anyway, that's my little segue on that.
What else is wrong with emails?
So they are, I think, the spam email of LinkedIn.
Yeah.
The moment you get one, you know you're not connected. You know they're only doing a sale to you. And every time, show me an email that isn't a full sales pitch.
Yeah.
Bullet points of why you should work with them. It's all about them and what they do. not interested.
Such a huge mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah, love it. Makes
exactly.
complete sense. Okay, so getting back to what cash-strapped startups can do on
So
sales.
there's so many things they can do, but one big thing that I say to especially founders when they're having to do sales themselves, they can't outsource it yet and they can't hire someone, make very hard decisions on how you structure your day. Because at a certain point, you should really only be working on things that is bringing in revenue or will bring you in revenue. And if you find yourself getting distracted with other things, building pretty decks, spending 3 hours to make one social media post, you are procrastinating. You should just be revenue building. That's it. And so I have a rule with some of my clients. If they feel like they're getting distracted, they'll be like, Tash, is this BD? And I'm like, it's not BD.
It's what Daniel Priestley calls anything but sales, like the ABS. Is like anything but sales. Have you picked up the phone and called someone?
What, me in life?
No, just, that question back to like anything but sales. I find myself doing like you said, like polishing a pitch deck, updating your website, even maybe like tweaking your messaging and all these things.
Exactly. There's no
Anything but
such thing
sales.
of a perfect message. There's no such thing as the perfect time.
Yeah.
It's just as good as you can make it, as personalized as you can make it, and then reach out to as
Take
many people as
action.
you can and follow up.
And I think that speaks to a wider thing that will resonate to so many people as well, is that like the blockers from taking like any sort of action, right? Let alone, this is why I think so many struggle with sales in general anyway, right? Because you've got this fear factor, you've got this bravery, there's, a lot of us have to come out of our comfort zone for it. But even besides that, like I work with so many incredible people that they're so smart, they've got these ideas, and you've got, whether it's perfectionism or fear of judgment, like all these other things in the way. So it just definitely speaks to this broader issue of not taking action. You talked about sort of the financial motivation, kind of reminding people of like the value of a contract. Is there anything else maybe I'm sure everyone's financially motivated, but is there anything else that you've seen? Exactly. Okay. All right.
Oh,
So
no,
what
not at
else helps
all.
people take action then?
So there's an unbelievable amount of people out there who are undercharging themselves.
Interesting.
And I find,
Yeah.
especially in the consulting and coaching world, it's really quite shocking when you meet people and you hear what they're building and they are just pricing themselves so low, or they've created a product or a service. There's no onboarding fee, there's no implementation, there's no management fees. They just will charge an incredibly low cost and go, well, I'm lucky to be given that. But actually, their value is so much more. And I think that a lot of business owners, when they start going out and they give their original pricing, their dream pricing, they get knocked back. And instead of going, well, you know what, someone else's budget does not define my value, they go, let me reduce my value. Let me, or not even reduce my value, but reduce my asking price. And all they're doing is just letting themselves down, because if they just kept going, been resilient, kept picking themselves up despite the rejections, someone would have said yes.
Yeah.
And that one person that says yes validates your pricing.
Yeah. Incredible.
So honestly, most people listening here could afford to put their pricing up pretty significantly, and it would not stop the number of clients they had. It would just increase their revenue.
Yeah, incredible. And it makes me think how many of us lower our prices if we're pitching versus upping the budget the other way around, right? It's like, oh, we can't afford this, let's just up the budget, versus they can't afford it, let me lower my prices.
Exactly.
So-
And there's a lot of power in, if you give a price and someone says, can you lower it, to just go, no,
Yeah,
I can't.
not possible. It is so infuriating. I mean, listeners, if you're still with us, hopefully you've already got that value from like upping your prices and got a good ROI from this already. But it's so incredibly infuriating when all these other walks of life, on this kind of negotiation and flexibility on pricing, where it's like, if you went to Pret and got a sandwich, the price of that sandwich is the price of the sandwich. You take it to the till, you ring it up, you pay that. Like, when there's no haggling here. Why is this culture of haggling? It applies in some situations, but not others.
I think it's a really good question. And look, I love to haggle. I'll always do a little bit of a haggle, because you should. It's good. It keeps your negotiation skills, warm and practiced. But I do think, look, it worries me if people don't haggle with me. If people just say yes, that makes me think my prices are too low. I have a rule.
Did they have more?
If 3 people in a row accept my pricing and don't negotiate at all,
You need to up
I
it.
put it up.
Yeah, great.
And that's my rule for anyone.
Yeah, good.
because there should be a biting point. You should negotiate. I think it's a fantastic thing.
I agree.
And it's the fear of it that holds us back from
Mm-mm.
closing and getting confirmation on deals, because if you ask someone how they feel about pricing, if they want to move forward, if it fits into their budget, that's when you get people saying no. And that's scary.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, super interesting. Yeah, I mean, the price of anything is whatever anyone's willing to pay for it,
Exactly.
right? And I think there is, exactly to your point, there is that kind of biting point. There's a really great framework I'm sure you've heard of called the Van Westendorp pricing, where it's like, I guess it's more of like a marketing strategy, customer research thing, where if you imagine kind of a quadrant, like X and Y axes, and you've got, what is it? You've got kind of like, basically, like at one end is like so cheap, it's like too good to be true, and I question its value. You've got astronomically priced, and basically the idea is to find that sweet spot in the middle. And then what's really interesting is overlaying it with your brand positioning. So bringing kind of brand marketing into the mix here with sales is, if you want a premium or luxury brand positioning, you want to be nudging that up to the highest sort of limit within that sweet spot of an acceptable price point for people.
Yeah, then pretty much, yeah, exactly that.
What is wrong with any questions?
Oh, any questions is so broad. And look, it's a closed question, which you should never really ask a closed question unless it is a closing question. Do you want to work together? The problem with any questions is that you can just go, no, it's unspecific, it's vague. What you want to do is say, look, do you see a way we can work together? Do you see this fitting in that way? Does this solve that problem? And if you're not asking those kind of open questions, then you're just getting one-word answers and you're going to get blown off really easily.
Love that. So on the sub, makes complete sense. Love that you provide some alternative examples as well there, because it's one thing to be like, don't do this, but sometimes we're like, okay, but what do I do instead? On the subject of closing questions, I wanted to try another fun exercise here with you live in the studio. We are going to call a friend and see if they pick up the phone. And what we're going to do is, now it's Tash's turn to call this person. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and close them on a call, right?
Why not?
Let's do it.
We've been flirting about this for a while, so it's time.
Perfect. So I did give Tash a heads up that we would be doing this. And when she asked which friend it was, she was like, yes, perfect.
And I would like it noted, the heads up was about 10 minutes before I arrived here.
More than enough time.
More than enough
How
time.
much do you need? You got the information? Let's go. I will let you
Thank you so much.
dial. I'll give you that much.
I have to tell him that he's live on air so he doesn't say something inappropriate.
Oh, this is so annoying.
Oh,
Wait,
man.
do you see how you see how that comes
Yeah.
up? That only comes up when we try calling. Is he on another call? Do you reckon?
I
But
think
let
it
me
might
just
be
show
your. I think it might be your signal, but
But this last message, it
it doesn't
click.
quite go through. And yeah, it's not actually connecting. No, I don't think you really have signal.
Oh no. Well, now it says I've got 5G,
Oh my god.
but it keeps doing it. The tension.
Could cut it. with
Cool. It says that it's calling mobile, by the way, guys. If you can't see, we're just waiting. Is it going to go through? I see the 5G's
It's gone.
disappeared.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, can we try with your phone?
Oh yeah, let me give it a go.
Which network are you with?
I actually can't remember. That's so bad, isn't it?
Doesn't speak to their brand equity.
No, that's very bad, isn't it? All right, let's see. I put it on Do Not Disturb because my mum was calling at the beginning of this. Very important. All right, let's see if we can do it. He's in as Ash Rebel in my phone.
Nice. I'm going to try and connect to the Wi-Fi in the meantime. Oh, well, yours is going through. I need to switch to your network.
I'm calling on 5G. I'm with
I've never even heard of you.
I shouldn't do an advert for them, but they're really fantastic. They do my gas, my electric, my phone, and I've saved so much money.
Pitch to them. It's
Genuinely.
so funny. He doesn't see my message, so
You know what? It doesn't matter. And this is the positive mental attitude, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
You know? I haven't been able to connect with him. But what has happened is I've laid a little bit of groundwork. You are telling him that he should be chatting with me. I'm telling him he needs to chat with me. I'm going to message him after this being like, look, it was a bit of silliness. We couldn't get hold of you. But in all seriousness, I would like to talk about maybe XYZ because we've seen some really good results from the free support I've been.
you are so good.
I'm going to do it anyway. You've given me the idea. I want the blooming contract,
Look,
and I'm
keep
going
your
to get
phone
it
on the table.
just in case.
He might call
Just
back.
in case. All right.
And I
can't-
want
Can't put it on Do Not Disturb in case. Well, my mum might call again, and I could always try and do a sales thing to her.
This is brilliant. Nobody's called me back from any of my attempts. It made Tash spit out her drink there. It was a wrong moment to say that. All right, I do have a few more questions before we wrap. The art of the follow-up. Talk to us about that.
Most important part of any sales process. I would put money on anyone who's listening to this going, oh, well, none of this helps because I get all my meetings, but I never get a contract afterwards. It comes down to the follow-up. 80% of deals get signed after 5 follow-ups. So if you pitch someone and you send a follow-up email straight away being like, this is the info, let's catch up in the future, the likelihood of you getting that is so slim. You have got to send another message. I don't expect people to be as persistent as I am. If someone has a pitch with me, I'll follow up with you 10 times. I'll find your house. I'll be there. No, that's maybe a little bit too far. But I've not had a single restraining order. And so I think that's a testament to my over-exaggeration. But I will keep responding because if we've sat down and had a meeting, if I've given you my time, if you've given me your time, the least that we can do is let each other know if we're going to work together or not. And I think sometimes people worry that following up makes them rude. I actually switch that on its head. It's rude to not give an answer when you've been pitched to by someone.
Yeah.
So don't feel held back. It's not going to damage your reputation. My reputation's fine. I'm here. You know, people are listening to me speak. I follow up all the time. So just do it.
I love that. And you know what? This has also helped me even just mentally. Yeah, this is very validating as well for me as well, right? Because I've always felt so deeply not closing that loop, like not getting an answer. I'm just like, I just want to know. I can't stand it. I've got a friend who we got cut. She was telling me this incredible story. And she got cut off and we had to rush. And I still don't know the rest of this story. And it is bothering me enough that I bring it up in the conversation now. She started telling me months ago, Tash. And I'm like, I am not letting you go until you finish this
Your
story.
follow-up needs to be better. Every week you need to tell her you want a voice
I
note.
need the end of this story. So that just goes to show, I'm like, I just need to know. I need to know the end, which speaks to kind of the curiosity gap that you can create with people in marketing again as well with that. So another idea popped into my head. I love it. You're filling my mind with all these great ideas. I want to read out, so we're not doing the live cold calling anymore, but I want to read out live a follow-up email that I'd already sent to somebody. I'll give the background and I want you again to grade me. I'm fully leaning into the teacher's pet.
Am I going to get paid for my hour of sales consultancy that I've been providing you here? I see what this is about. Here I am thinking you're fluffing me up with all the promise of coming on a podcast. I see it's an hour of free sales advice. I love it. Ask me. I'm in.
For Tash's services, what's your number? Get in touch. I need to earn. I'm earning this free fantastic free advice. I love it. Like the specific. I mean, even you saying before, what was it like 80% convert after 5 follow-ups? So all those specifics and things. So I'm just giving another specific in the mix here. All right. So as context, this was again for a podcast sponsorship, and they were super keen, which is again part of with the follow. You're like, wait. You were it's like dating, isn't it? You're like, but I thought the date went so well. And And they were like, yeah, we love it. We're really interested. This is a top priority for us. Perfect match. Just everything. It was like stars are aligning. This is fantastic. We've got the budget. Everything. Followed up with the proposal after the call and then ghosted me. And this is the follow-up. Okay? Hey, bleep. Hope you're doing well. Since my last email, all our shows have continued to grow. So this was actually a network proposal. Since my last email, all our shows have continued to grow with updated stats for so-and-so attached. I also have studio availability this Thursday on the off chance so-and-so is already in town, because part of the package was to get them on the show as well, or can find a time XYZ to get the campaign up and running in time for September in the post-holiday back-to-school season. Were you still interested in moving ahead? Look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, Steph.
Okay. So I think it's a very nice follow-up.
Put so much effort into that.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
a very nice follow-up.
Thank you.
So
You let me down gently.
I am letting you down, don't I? It's a compliment sandwich. No. It is. So I
Didn't
have
get
a
a
piece of
response.
advice to get you to make that even easier,
Okay.
which is book in a second meeting so you never have to send that follow-up message.
Well, when I've already got them on the call.
Yeah, you're on the call. They said they're interested. You say, look, I'm going to send you the proposal.
Right.
When will you have time to look at it?
Mm.
Next week on Wednesday. Great. Would it be impossible, pop something in for Friday? Have a good vibe, have a little chat, means I can answer your questions. How does that sound? Yeah, good. We've got our diaries in front of us. I'm sending it to you now. It's locked in.
Nice.
Then you never have to send a follow-up
Great
again.
tip. Great tip.
Because that was a great email. It was a great email.
Okay. Well, what I did there, my approach was I'm not just following up, which is another thing I wanted to kind of warn off to the list. I'm not just bumping this back up to the top of your
Well, no
inbox.
one has to. Or just being like, have you reached a decision on this? No, you were adding more information.
Exactly.
You were also recognizing that they're coming into town. So there's that level of personalization in there as well.
Yeah.
And
A bit of pressure creating as well with like, we've got studio availability at this point.
exactly. Do you know what the only difference I would make? Your first line, it was throwaway.
Yeah.
Hope you're well.
And that's why I specifically read it out
Yeah.
for accuracy.
Yeah, it's throwaway. If
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be there, either get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or make it more specialized. So if you know that they're visiting soon, hey, how are your plans to come down to London going?
Yeah.
Hope, the nightmare of trains isn't impacting you. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually don't know if anything's happening with the trains. I'm assuming.
Yeah. I love it. I had that advice actually given to me a few years ago, like stop the throat clearing was how they mentioned it, how they phrased it. They're like, stop the throat clearing. No, hope you're doing well. No, did you have a good weekend? That is my bugbear.
I always start them and then I delete it. I'm like, nope, that's rubbish.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So you still actually like type it out
Absolutely.
to feel nicer.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's
then
like
leave it.
exclamation marks and then removing all the exclamation
Oh
marks.
no, I put in so many exclamation marks.
Like-
Exclamation marks and emojis. That's me.
Love it. All right. Unless there are any other, obviously, I have enjoyed so much top-notch, high quality advice here.
Free
Unless-
quality. Oh dear.
Low quality, high price. I'm joking. Unless there are any other pearls of wisdom you'd like to share, I cannot leave a sales expert leave this room without doing a sell me this pen.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right.
I don't actually even have a pen. Do you have a pen? Do you have a pen? I have a lipstick. Do you want to sell me this lipstick?
I might actually have a pen in my
Okay, what's in the pen?
I might have a pen in my bag. So can I ask you, Steph? You mentioned that you didn't have a pen.
Yeah, I was looking for one.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself just getting run short on them?
Yeah, sometimes I've got a bunch from all these events and free merch from conferences, but I put them all in a pot, and then when I need to grab one,
Oh, that's a nightmare.
It's
Do
never
you
a
not
fun.
have a travel pen?
oh no, I don't have a travel pen.
Oh my gosh. So, best thing that's ever happened to me, keeping a pen in my pocket. Because, for one, I love geocaching. Do you know about geocaching?
No.
Oh, geocaching is like finding little treasures in the world, and you get to sign your name onto them. But my favourite geocache is sometimes someone will say to me, we're sending you a contract, can you sign it? Get it back to me straight away. I'm bugged if I don't have a pen. So, Steph, you said you didn't have a pen, right?
That's true.
Yeah. You did a bit of sales activity earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about if someone asks you to sign a contract?
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, look, I've got some really good news for you. If I just have a little look inside my bag, ooh, It's a good one, actually. It's a good pen. It's from the unicorn I helped build. Stuart.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Smooth.
How much would you pay for a pen?
£1.
How much is your average contract?
£1,000.
Best investment you ever made, Steph. How do you feel about buying this pen?
Well, 1,000x return on that.
Yeah. Let's buy that pen.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
But
if
the
you could just
problem
give me
is,
£1.
I've already spent over £1 on calling America.
Oh, well, that is your
So-
problem and not mine. And we've verbally agreed now at this point that you are buying this pen. Don't you turn back on me at this point.
I love it. I love it. I think I made that too easy for you there.
Yeah, you absolutely did. That was
I need to put some objections in there.
you absolutely should have, but it's too late. The pen's been bought.
That was incredible. That was a masterclass in sell me this pen. That was phenomenal.
You ask a
Tash.
lot of questions and you just lead people to the end result that they really need.
That's incredible.
You don't really need a pen. You want a contract and you want an easily signed contract.
I love that.
So you have to buy a pen to
Love
make
that,
that.
love that, love that, love that. This ties all into like the biopsychology as well, right? It's like and actually, sorry, this was something that you said before I had a brain fart moment, was the difference between cost and value. Something I recently come across, like the price of the cost of it and the value of it. And I think that also not only helps with converting prospects, but to your earlier points as well around raising your prices.
Yeah.
So someone might be like, oh my God, but it's only, I do public speaking as well, right? And sometimes it's like, I'll be on stage for half an hour and you could look at them and be like, that was half an hour of my time. Of course it wasn't. There was so much more prep and everything else. But that's a good example of the difference between cost versus value.
Yeah.
So actually, the value that I'm delivering here is the knowledge, the entertainment, the expertise, and whatever that outcome is that you're going to get from this.
Exactly. And you'll notice that when I was talking to you about my pen, I asked you how much you'd pay for a pen. I asked what your budget was. Now, what's interesting is at the beginning of our chat, you told me that you've got loads and loads of free pens. And yet 2 minutes later, because I've made you realize the value a pen could be, you're saying you'd pay £1 for it. I can tell you right now, that pen is not worth £1. It's at least 6 years old. And again, it's a little psychological thing. You don't even realize it's happening. Yeah, you went from saying you'd only take a free pen to paying £1 for it.
Funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what? We're so aware of all these like psychological hacks and jump and do, but then when it's happening to us,
You don't even, I'm so easy to be sold to. Honestly, I'm the easiest sell in the world. I get excited because I use my own positivity. I get wrapped up in it myself and I'm like, oh, bye.
do you think that applies to other salespeople? Like, are salespeople also easy to, or do they have like a higher standard?
I think that it really depends.
Yeah.
As salespeople, one of the worst things that happens is you get into a call and someone goes, I'm a salesperson, so this had better be good.
Oh, that's funny.
And you're like, oh God, just get off your high horse. But that's also the breed of salesperson that I'm really hoping will sort of disappear with this new relationship building, understanding, empathy, and all of that jazz.
Yeah, same, absolutely, same. I wish for that future of salesperson as well. Amazing. All right. I wrap all of my interviews with the traditional closing question of one tragedy that's taught you an unforgettable lesson, Tash.
Yeah. So this is actually how I started my consultancy. So when my last full-time role was the head of commercial for a volunteering and charity platform. And what we did was paired really brilliant people with organizations that needed their help. So if you're a lawyer, why are you painting a charity's walls? You should be helping them with their contracts, kind of thing. So we were at this incredible point where I'd hired and trained up these amazing salespeople. We had 20% month-on-month growth. I just sat down with the founder and said, so this is my 3-month plan for us to make our first $1 million in revenue. Couldn't be more exciting. We just signed another enterprise client. It was amazing. And then suddenly she'd brought in a commercial advisor, a consultant, whose background was in recruitment. Now, you really can't have two things that are more different, recruitment and positive impact and volunteering and charity. Very different world. And it was unbelievable, the changes that got brought in. And I was rallying against every single one of them. But our prices were not just quadrupling, they were going 10x up. Suddenly we had onboarding fees that were more than our yearly contracts. And as you can imagine, every single deal ground to a halt. We went from 8 new deals a month, 20% growth, to literally for an entire month, nothing.
Wow.
And at the end of that month, the founder came into our startup, our stand-up in the morning and just let me and my whole team go. No warning. And that was hands down the worst day of my life, to be honest, because I loved what I did. I loved my team. And I just saw every single one of their hearts break, and mine too. And I had to keep it together because they're my team. And I couldn't believe that the irresponsible advice and unbelievable price tag. This guy was like 26K for 4 days.
To hire the
To
consultant
work with
in.
him.
Which funny kind of leads back into pricing and undercharging and everything, right? So clearly this guy wasn't, but there wasn't that match.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it was a complete eye-opener for me because I was already considering opening up a consultancy because I'd done it for a few charities and really seen the value in it. And it just made me realize, you know what, there are some truly awful consultants out there that are in it for the money and will tear down a business just to get their paycheck.
Wow.
And it made me know this is the kind of consultant I want to be. I want to work with people I can help. I want to bring value if I can bring value. And people can be really taken advantage of. Founders don't know what they don't know. And so they need to understand sales so that they aren't taken advantage of, whether that's by a consultant or whether that's by their first sales hire. It's an incredibly important decision to make. And it was a horrible lesson to learn. I managed to help every single person in my team get their next job, which is awesome.
Oh, that's incredible.
And I
Wow,
still
well done.
catch up with them. They're like lovely human beings.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, it was a massive learning. But by the end of that day, I'd already created my website, bought the domain, and decided on the business name and everything. So it ended up being the best thing that's ever happened to me. But it was absolutely in that moment worst day.
I can absolutely imagine, and like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you definitely turned, lemons into lemonade. So perfect note to end this interview on as well. Where can people go to get some of your phenomenal sales training, Tash?
So first thing, I would recommend coming and adding me on LinkedIn. I'm Tash Rebuck. I am the only Tash Rebuck on LinkedIn, so I'm very easy to find. But also they can find me on my website, TR Sales Consultancy. I've just had it zhuzhed up, so please do go visit. It looks very nice if you ask me. And yeah, you can find me there. I'm often doing talks and panels, so hopefully there's a lot of content available for anyone who comes and finds me.
Amazing. Tash, thank you so much, not only for all the amazing free sales training that I've had and feedback live here on the show, but for coming on and sharing your wisdom. This has been awesome.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. If you learnt something new from this, one thing, you have absolutely no excuse when it comes to hitting that like and follow button. At the very least, you can do that for us. So thank you so much, and hopefully see you next time.